Hey, how's it going, everybody? So if you've been keeping an eye on the leaderboard, you've probably seen these two showing up a lot as tanks. And my philosophy behind why that is because when they die, you lose 5% of your mana, which is typically enough to throw off the number of tiles it takes you to charge. So if you have very fast heroes with you, for example, and you lose 5% of your mana, they will no longer be charged with 6 tiles as they normally would be with a level 11 troop. And Beera, particularly as a tank, is very interesting because there's the mana cut thing, and if she lives long enough just to fire once, she produces pretty tough minions, so she's healing everyone by a few hundred with those minions. And the great thing about them is if they hit you once, that's 3 turns of poison damage you get. So it's a duration of 3 turns. So even if there's only 2 left alive, it's pretty easy for them to just keep randomly hitting you. Like if they're only alive on the wings, for example, it's pretty easy for them to keep hitting you and keep refreshing that 3-turn duration. So maybe they miss for a couple turns and then they hit you again just in time to refresh it. And with a appropriately leveled troop and enough emblems, you're taking like 100 poison damage per turn. So it's kind of like having a few stacks from Scotty on you right from the start. And so I watched a match where someone was attacking this team that had a Beera tank, and they had poison damage against them until they were killing the last hero, and they won, but it was extremely close. So if you have some other dangerous heroes, it can be a real problem. This team, however, does not have many other dangerous heroes. It's got Gravemaker, who's pretty dangerous, but he's not really a killer. He more softens you up for the others. And we have Vela, who is also not really a killer. It's kind of annoying, but has gotten worse lately. So I'm curious, it seems like what they're trying to go for is a combination of extra boosted HP with minions, which are also kind of like boosted HP, and then chipping you away with dot damage and minion damage at the same time. So it's the kind of thing where you have to be able to rise above that. If you can't sort of grapple that in the direction you want to go, then you could easily lose to it. So I was curious to try my own luck against this team. It's obviously a very strong team. Anything over 4,700 is quite strong. And I'm going to go with my usual raid team and see what happens. So we got a blue diamond, a very good blue diamond, which means we're probably going to have to rematch this to get a very clear look, since that gives a bit of a biased look. So I'm going to go down the left side because I'm more worried about this left side, actually. We'll use Ariel for the mana boost again, which is just 1 tile short of charging up Cobalt. All right, so we'll do the same thing over here, and you can watch this poison damage. So see, the first turn it only hit 3, but that is a turn of, so it's 96 per turn for 2 turns. And so let's let this refresh again. Obviously Vela going off, I should have used Black Knight, but this fight is very much in my control now, so I want to... Oh, the minions are dead, never mind. I was like, what's not working here? Why is this not happening? Okay, so let's try this again. And you can see even still that mana cut. Oh, interesting. So the ninjas are sort of nicely exempt from the mana cut because they're not either charged yes or no, they're charged to 1, 2, or 3. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, as they, in many situations, are going to be sort of exempt from that mana cut. Okay, let's try that again without a blue diamond, maybe. We'll go red diamond this time. How about that? Red diamond is definitely less of an advantage for this team. These two blues with Finley being able to hit everyone and Cobalt doing very strong damage to 3 at fast speed. So you saw last time I actually let, what's his name, Heimdall fire because it actually was to my advantage for that buff to be placed team-wide. So I want to play around with Beera's damage a little bit more. Okay, blue diamond next. That's what's happening. So you can see there are 4 minions, but only 3 got hit. So there's no guarantee of an equal spread there, which is something to keep in mind. But all right, so we only have 1 minion left. I'm going to intentionally avoid hitting Gravemaker. And you can see that there's still coverage on 4. And that's going to linger on. So that 3-turn duration thing is really cool for dot damage inflicted by a minion because of how easy it is to saturate the opponent team with it, even with just a few minions. Because that way the target only needs to be hit. I know I explained this already, but that way the target only needs to be hit once every 2 to 3 turns, just to keep that going. So it can be pretty annoying. Obviously it is cleansable, but that doesn't kill the minions, so it can just as easily come right back. So that shouldn't kill Gravemaker, and we can try this one more time. Close though. 110, so yeah, let's try this one more time. And at this point I can say my advice for this team, which is quite good. The troops are great, the heroes are great, the number of emblems is great. There's not enough threat here. I honestly think Beera alone is a better tank. And then I would take out Freya altogether, take out Heimdall, or just use Heimdall as a tank and then put in some other aggressive heroes. So I've commented on this a lot in the past, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know those triple tank team sort of episodes that I used to do, where I would look at teams with, 3 or more tanks on them and usually give them 3 chances and then explain my thoughts on why it did or didn't work. And this is not really a triple tank team, but there's too many support heroes here. I think it lacks a cohesiveness. There's kind of multiple strategies going here, and I think your team, if you want it to be as dangerous as possible, needs to be united in one strategy. So either Heimdall is your tank and you've got a bunch of aggressive hitters to capitalize from that attack boost that he gives, or you're going to try to use the Beera tank strategy with some other aggressive hitters around where you're just trying to get her to go off once and use that monocut and the, hopefully 3 turns of dot damage that you're going to get or more, depending on the ability to kill the minions and cleanse. And then you have other heroes who are ready, strong AoE hitters who are ready to capitalize on those weakened enemies. So the Beera team that I was talking about before had Frigg and Odin flanks with Zimkitha and Finley on the wings, I think. So a lot of AoE damage, a lot of really great heroes. So anyways, that's my takeaway for this team. Let me know if you either agree or disagree in the comments down below. Got another red diamond here. So I guess I could choose not to play the diamond, but kind of feels just wrong. So, we have Black Knight, so I'm not going to use Gravemaker. Placing Gravemaker right then would have been a really smart move because that fire damage can kill those minions on half the board at least, and the rest can be focused on with attacks. And you can see 4 minions. It hasn't happened yet, I don't think, that the first turn it has hit 4 individual heroes, and that's because they just randomly hit. But once this duration is on, it only needs to be refreshed every 3 turns to keep it constant, which is really good. So the theory I want to test is now when Freya fires. Okay, so Beera's killed, mana cut. Screws me over. Not too bad in this case. So what I'm curious about is which minion is on top. So I don't think he's going to kill both. And also keep in mind that this increased defense that she has applies to minions as well, because minion HP is treated as an extension of the hero HP. So defense up makes minions tougher as well. So let's see which of these is on top. Obviously Beera fired first and then Freya second. Okay, so the Freya minion was underneath the other one, which is good to know. And wow, 800 for 1 tile. Didn't see how much attack boost they were getting from Black Knight. Oh, Black Knight is really in his prime right now. When he came out, people were like, well, he's pretty good, but blue has really strong heroes and a lot of dispellers, so, you know, he's not that great. And then Melosi came out, and Melosi renders Black Knight useless, but, you know, and you only need 6 tiles to charge Melosi if you have a level 11 mana troop for him. But Black Knight is completely skyrocketing in his resurgence now on top teams because he's just so punishing if you can't kill him. I think a lot of people, too, when Black Knight first came out, didn't want to shift emblems from Gravemaker or Kage Barado if they had him. So now that emblems are more available, some people have multiple plus 20 heroes in the same class. So Black Knight is back with a vengeance. But I think from looking at the leaderboard and seeing what teams are holding their cups for the longest, even in the top 5, for like hours holding the top 5, which is crazy. I think Beera tanks are better, actually, if you have the right team to back it up and capitalize on what she is doing for you. But Black Knight is also super beastly, and if you can't kill him right away, it's a real problem. So I've been playing around with my strategy because I feel like a 3-2 blue isn't quite enough. So I'll save that for a different video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button and subscribe so that you see all my future uploads. And if you don't want to miss any of those uploads, make sure you hit the bell icon as well so that you're notified when I post new things, which is typically about once a day, if I can keep up with that. So yeah, thank you guys so much. We just hit 5,000 subscribers, so thank you guys for that. And I'll see you in the next video.